Clutch Sports Talk. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. It's me, your boy, Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk in the house. Welcome to another edition of NFL Sunday Morning with me, your host, Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk, man. It's week 4. Wow, this season is blowing by so fast already. I can't believe it's week 4. It felt like it was just week 1 not that long ago, right? But hey, we're here, week 4. We got tons of headlines. You got Tom Brady back to Foxborough. I want to talk about Justin Fields and the whole Chicago Bears scenario. The NFC West takes center stage today. And I want to talk about that. And of course, I got to give you guys my predictions and analysis and previews of week 4 matchup. That's an error down there. Week 4 matchup. So anyway, sit back and relax and enjoy the show. This is NFL Sunday Morning with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go. Well. Welcome back in, man. Hope you guys are ready, man. We're here. It's Sunday. It's one of the best. It's the best day of the week, kind of the worst day of the week, depending on how you want to look at it. But we got NFL action today, man. It's week 4 in the National Football League. Disregard where it says week 3 matchups. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. That's a typo for me. But anyway, hey, man, welcome everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Pretty excited again as usual. It's another NFL Sunday morning, another NFL Sunday week, and I'm so glad to present this guys to you. So, but first things first, man, make sure if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do so and hit that notifications link. That way you get everything updated Clutch Sports Talk related. And also those are my other, as you can see there on the screen to your left, I would believe. All my other social media platforms where you can follow and subscribe, and make sure you share, like, follow, man. And make sure if you're in the comment section today or you're watching live right now, make sure you say what's up and drop a little note telling me what's going on. Rep your city, rep your team, man. Hey, I love it. Let's get into it. So first things first, man, let's get straight. I mean, let's just obviously there's a big matchup today, right? And we all know the big elephant in the room, and that's Tom Brady heading back to Foxborough after he spent over 20 years in New England. Now he is not going to be entering through the home side. He will be a visitor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this story, this whole event has garnered a lot of national attention, as it should. I mean, Tom Brady, if not is the greatest quarterback of all time, spent his whole career for the most part there, and now is returning as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against who? Bill Belichick, the coach that maybe let him go. We all know Bill Belichick's, his demeanor. He doesn't really get up. He doesn't get low. He, when they asked him today about it, or when they asked him about the situation, he gets some type of mumbling, like, we're just moving on. This is not just a regular game. And I know Tom Brady is trying to downplay the scenario too as well, but this game means more than the Tampa Bay and New England organizations. This is between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And also you want to throw in the owner, Robert Kraft. It's kind of like a love triangle in a sense, where Robert Kraft would have much rather have Tom Brady stay. But he does believe in his coach, who's brought him Super Bowl, and brought New England Patriots into prominence. But as what we saw last year, maybe it wasn't all Bill Belichick. Maybe it was more Tom Brady than Bill Belichick, because since Tom Brady's left, New England Patriots struggled. They signed Cam Newton. It didn't work out with him. They got the rookie Mac Jones, who apparently everyone thinks he's the heir apparent, but I don't think that's the case. And now Tom Brady has left the cold weather in New England, headed down south, and now he is on another Super Bowl contending team with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So regardless, both men, they're trying to downplay the scenario, which is the most, what you call it? It's the most cliche thing to do in sports. This is a big game. We're not stupid. When you got news medias like CBS America or Good Day Morning, whatever the hell these names of these shows are on the big box networks, they're heading down there. This is not a newsworthy event in the sense that it's like world news, but it's big. It's big. It's Tom Brady. It's his legacy, and he's going to come back home tonight on Sunday Night Football. Now the other guy that we're forgetting, who was a New England Patriot Robert Gronkowski, he's out tonight. He's out tonight. Hey, Sandy, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. He's out. So, but honestly, the biggest thing was the whole Tom Brady. And, Gronk has some, he got some history there too as well. But the other thing in regards to Tom Brady, which is very interesting, is that the trainer of Tom Brady, I think Alex Guerrero or Hernandez, I forgot his name, but who works closely with Tom Brady, right? He had a lot to say. He basically chastised Bill Belichick, saying, "Oh, well, Bill never showed Tom Brady the respect over the years. He still treated him as a late round draft pick, and which we can totally see that because Bill Belichick, to me, doesn't give a damn. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, and rightfully so. He's got the Lombardi rings or the trophies and the rings to show for, but a lot of it was was basically because of Tom Brady. That's what we're seeing now. Now, if he can go on and elevate the Patriots again into prominence, then okay, well, we can give him credit. He's still a great coach, obviously, but his ship has sailed because there was a lot of drama. And I can't wait for any book that Tom Brady writes after his playing days are over because it's going to divulge everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Okay, in my Cat Williams voice. So this game, man, it's bigger than football tonight. It really is bigger than football. And I hope you guys are tuned in because it's gonna be great for TV. I'm not a fan of neither teams really, but I am a fan of big events, and this is definitely a big event. This is almost like when LeBron returned back to Cleveland the first time. All the media coverage when he came back as a Miami Heat, he goes back to Cleveland. It's the same thing. These are iconic figures in sports and professional sports. And whether you watch football or not, you know who Tom Brady is. Most people do. Okay. We all know who he is. So, but then make sure you guys check that out tonight. Sunday night game. That's the primetime game of the evening. All right. Chicago Bears. Matt Nagy. Ryan Pace, GM. Guys screwed it. You guys messed it up, man. I mean, I've been following this the last couple of weeks now. Justin Fields will get the start against the Lions today, which he rightfully so. He should, man. In my opinion, I thought that Justin Fields should have started day one. Now, last week was terrible, right? He got sacked like 9 times against the Cleveland Browns. I think he only generated 48 yards of passing or total yards. I forgot which one was which, but still. And a lot of people, oh, well, he didn't have the full playbook and yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. This guy should have been named the starter from day one. I don't care if you had Andy Dalton prior to you guys drafting him. I've said this many times on this show. I get it. When they were drafting, they didn't expect Justin Fields to drop to where he dropped. Okay, I understand that. And you already had Andy Dalton and you already had Nick Foles on the roster. Okay, I understand that. But if you felt the need, I believe they moved up, if I'm not mistaken, to draft this kid. Let him start. Give him the full playbook. That way he's prepared. And I get it. They opened up in LA against a tough Rams defense. I understand that. And this offensive line is not good. And whose fault is that? That's the GM's fault. Ryan Pace is not a great GM at all. Okay. This offensive line is a shambles. They should feel very, 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 very embarrassed about the product they put on the field. And Matt Nagy, to me, is not a great coach as well. Okay. I don't think he's that good. He gets a lot of credit for being this offensive wizard. I don't see it yet. And I think the Bears have wasted an opportunity the last couple of years because they've had really, really solid defenses, but their offense really never can get it going. So they let Mitchell Trubisky go. They bring in Justin Fields. You should let this kid start from the jump. Give him the full playbook. Let Andy Dalton teach him the ways. Because look, I get it. You're trying to win games. But Andy Dalton's not going to win you games, okay? It didn't work out for him in Dallas. And I get it. That offensive line last year for him wasn't that great either, but still, okay? Andy Dalton is not the guy. And a lot of people, oh, well, he's a young quarterback. You don't want to damage him. Trust me. This kid has played in more bigger games so far than any game that he's played as a Bear. And that's facts. He's played in the college football playoff twice, coming from Georgia, a high school in Georgia, I think Kennesaw, Georgia. I'm pretty sure there's some big games being played there too, right? These kids today are geared to handle this stuff more so than ever. All the tutelage, all the resources, and I've always said this: let them play. You drafted them high. You got to know what you got. You got to know what you got. That way, if you know, we messed up, I need to return it, or we need to go out and get something else. Because what's the point of having him on the bench learning from who? Learning from what? Right? Because first of all, you may not even be there, Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace, Andy Dalton. Let the guy play. I get it. It was a tough matchup, especially last week too against the Cleveland Browns in that defensive front. Myles Garrett looking like he's in the Matrix. So I don't know if you guys seen that clip of him, but you got to let your top draft picks play. Exactly, teams more. You got to let them play. You drafted him high. Now, if he was like a 4th round pick, hell, even late second. Okay, maybe you bring him in, right? Like how they did Aaron Rodgers, guys like that. But you moved up to get him. You initiated it. You wanted the kid. So Matt Nagy, do a better job coaching. I'm not saying I'm a better NFL head coach because I'm not. I never played in the NFL. Haven't been around the NFL like that. But I'm saying is that you're getting paid millions of dollars to not do the obvious. And I think that's what really, really, really sets me off, is because I think last week Justin Fields was getting, just destroyed. You couldn't come up with a better game plan as an offensive-minded coach. Shame on you. Shame on you, Matt Nagy. And so, and shame for the Chicago Bears, because that fan base is, they're as loyal as any fan base that I've seen. And still, they've suffered through the Rex Grossman years, right? Even before that, right? And now you think you have your guy, you go and get him, and you don't even want to play the guy. And then all this week, oh, well, you got Nick Foles here, Andy Dalton's recovering. And stop with all the BS, man. Just play the kid. And if he's got it in him, he'll do what he has to do. And if he doesn't, then you move on and get another quarterback, or you figure something else out, right? Free agency, via trade, Deshaun Watson still out there potentially. Do something. But don't waste our time, and don't waste this kid's time. And that's the problem. That's the problem with all these organizations. Sam Darnold, case in point. Look how they wasted. Granted for him, he got out of there, and he'll probably flourish a lot better. But you gotta let him play. You gotta let him play. You gotta know. So anyway, moving on. Big matchup today in the NFC West. All the teams are playing each other. You got the Rams taking on the Cardinals. That's a big game, and I'm going to go over the previews here in just a minute. You also have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Now, to me, this is one of the best divisions, if not the best division in football. They're going to beat each other up because as of right now, the San Francisco 49ers suffered a tough loss. The Seahawks struggling a little bit. They're struggling, but I think they'll figure it out, get it going. The Cardinals, they're still kind of I like the Cardinals, but I don't know, man. They're good. They're good, but something still about them scares me. So I don't know. And the Rams, obviously, they look legit. They look like they're ready to win the Super Bowl, as last week as they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But these divisional matchup games are very tough. But like I said, I think this is the best division, if not one of the best divisions in football. The other division, maybe that might be as good. It might be the AFC North now, minus the Pittsburgh Steelers, because you have the Ravens, you have the Browns, and then the Bengals, right, have emerged. I believe now they're 3-1 or 2-1 or whatever the record they are. After they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars Thursday night. I think they are 3-1. So, but I think overall, I think this is the better division. But this you want to watch this today. If you have any type of package where you can watch these games, do so, because you're going to learn a lot today, especially about the Arizona Cardinals. And like I said, I'm not going to get too much into the breakdown of the game, but I will say this, that the Cardinals are the interesting factor, because I think if they can get going, especially Kyler Murray, offensively, they're pretty hard to stop. They're pretty hard to stop. Now, defensively, I don't know if they can hold up, but we'll see today as they take on the LA Rams. And then as far as the Seahawks are concerned, usually they start off hot, and I thought they were going to, but they dropped that one to Tennessee. Not last week, but the week before. Obviously they followed up with a win last week, and then the Niners still, they're a good, solid team. Obviously, I think the class of this division is the Rams now that I look back and think about it. And I forgot who I picked to win this division. I think I had the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, was I wrong, but it's still early. It's still early. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. All right. Let's get straight into the games today. These are the morning games, the 1 o'clock, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time game. So we have the Atlanta Falcons at home taking on the Washington football team. The Washington football team is favored at -1.5. I know a few weeks ago I said I was done with the Falcons, but I'm going to take them today in one of my clutch picks of the week. I have them winning straight up. This one was too close. Washington football team defense is not what we thought they were. They're just not. They have no offense. And you know what's crazy? A lot of analysts, especially guys that I like to watch and read and follow, like Colin Cowherd, he liked the Washington football team winning this division. Now, I don't know how, because they never okay, this is before the season even started, right? I get that. But they don't even have an offense. They got one guy on their offense, Terry McLaurin. That's it. And then this isn't youth football where you could just have one guy and throw it to him. You got to have multiple guys to get the ball to. And to me now, with Ryan Fitzpatrick hurt, Taylor Heineke, he's all right, but he's a journeyman. He's a backup, right? And your defense is not that good, especially on the back end. I like the Falcons, man. I really like the Falcons today. And I hope they don't screw me over, because I'm going out on a limb for them today. And the other there's another team I'm going out on a limb for, and I hope they don't screw me over either. But I like the Falcons today as one of my clutch picks of the week, over the Washington football team. All right. Texans on the road, traveling to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. This was also another game that was under my clutch picks of the week for week 4. The Bills are legit. The Bills are legit. All right. To me, the Bills, if I had to kind of like analyze or give an analogy as to what the Bills are, they are like a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry, right? They're very solid. They're stable, good on gas mileage. They're not going to wow you. The price tag is reasonable, right? That's the Buffalo Bills. Now, they don't wow you. At least they don't wow me. Maybe some of you, they wow. But me, when I see them, I'm like, all right, they're good. They're good. I like them. I like how they look. But it's not something that I'm like, I want to get out about my seat and be like, oh my God, like this team is exciting. Josh Allen, so far, solid year so far, as usual, as we expected. One of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League. But this line, dude, I'm getting my lines from ESPN. So those of you who are watching are like, well, the lines changed. Well, this is what ESPN had, right? When I made the slide. -17. I had to take that. So I didn't take the Bills. I took the Texans at +17. Here's the thing about the Texans, man. I know the record doesn't reflect, but I've been watching their games closely. They're playing hard. They're playing hard, man. And for an NFL, for an NFL team to get beat by 2 touchdowns, man, that's tough. Anytime I see lines like this, I have to jump on the plus side, and I'm going to take the Texans at +17. And this is one of my other clutch picks of the week. So Bill should win this game, but by 2 touchdowns on an NFL team, highly unlikely. So if you're making a bet, I would go with the Texans to cover at +17 on this game. This is in college, man. I mean, it doesn't happen. Yeah, teams get blown out, but really in the National Football League, that's not rare, but it's very unlikely to see an NFL team get blown out that bad. But it does happen. But I like the way the Texans been playing, even though they got a losing record. They play hard. They're playing hard. They just don't have the talent in the end. All right. Oh, oddly enough, the next clutch pick of the week, and I don't know why I made these slides like this, but hey, I got the Bears at home, Justin Fields, -3 against the Detroit Lions, coming off a gut-wrenching loss last week to the Baltimore Ravens and Justin Tucker. Look, Lions, I'm going out on a limb. I got friends that are Detroit Lions fans that are from that area, and I always give them shit. But today, I'm going to ride with the Lions. I don't think the Bears are that good. I mean, their defense isn't as good as it used to be. I think the Chicago Bears have wasted their time with Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, that front. Like I'm not saying they're trash. They're not trash, but they've wasted the better part of those guys' career. That's why there was reports a couple weeks ago. Khalil Mack was like, "Hey man, can I get back to Las Vegas?" Because he sees what they got going on there. But I like the Lions to win. They're playing hard. I'm still not a fan of Dan Campbell. I don't really like his coaching style, I guess, like that, or his antics. But they are biting some kneecaps. They're trying. They're not giving up. And this last week was just a tough break. Tough break. The referees didn't get the delay a game call that led to the pass that got the Ravens a first down that helped them get into field goal position to win that game. So I like the Lions today, man, in the money line pick just to win straight up. All right. The game of the day for me, my Dallas Cowboys at home, taking on the 3-0 Carolina Panthers, who I believe are frauds. They are fraudulent. They're 3-0. And they really played anybody. They beat the Saints. I give them that. And they really, they had the Texans one week and then the Jets. So you tell me, right? You tell me, right? As Jalen Ramsey would say back in his days in Jacksonville. Yeah, go watch that. You tell me, right? Cowboys coming off a exhilarating Monday night win, a destruction of the Philadelphia Eagles. They're coming in hot. They are still missing some guys on the defensive end, on the defensive side of the ball, but still, you got Dak. You still got Zeke, who looked really good. Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. Our tight end emerged last week, Monday. This one's pretty easy for me, man. I don't. Now, the Panthers defense is pretty good, as it should be. They invested like 12 picks in the last 2 years on the defensive side of the ball. And another thing, Christian McCaffrey's not here. He's out. And that's a big, big loss for them because now they're going to go on the road and they're going to be tested by a team that can score the ball. Whether or not the Dallas Cowboys defense is legit or not, which I think it's better. I think it's better, right? We've seen that they lead the league in turnovers or takeaways, right? And I think interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. Look, the Cowboys can score. They can score with anybody in this league. So if it comes to a shootout, I like the Cowboys' chances, and I like them to cover in this game. I'm not going to say too much about that. All right, Cleveland Browns. This line was interesting. This is a close line. It was -2 Cleveland Browns on the road, traveling to Minnesota. Minnesota, coming off a good win. They beat the Seahawks. Good win at home. This team could easily be 2-1. 2-1 at this point, but the kicker blew the game in Arizona. But here they are. This is one of those games again where the Vikings aren't terrible. They're not. If you look at their roster, they got Dalvin Cook in the backfield. You got Justin Jefferson. They can score. Now their defense needs to get in front of some people every now and then, which I think they can. The Browns, the way the style of their play, if they're not running the ball effectively, you can stay on pace with them. You can't, and then Baker Mayfield is prone to throwing you a pick or two there. But the Browns to me are they have one of the most talented rosters. I'm not sure why this line was so close, but I think it could be a little bit more, maybe a touchdown or so. But the Browns should win this game. The Browns should go in there into Minnesota, although the Minnesota Vikings are coming off a great win. If the Browns want to be a contender, these are games you just have to win. Right now, this is not the Jets they're playing, obviously, or another 0-3 team. The Vikings are formidable. They can't beat you if you let them beat you. But this is a game that the Browns just need to come in and put their stamp on this game and get out of Minnesota with a win there. All right, Colts and Dolphins, man. Jacoby Brissett still the starter. Dolphins coming off a close loss to Las Vegas last week. I don't know, man. The Dolphins, to me, their stock is going down just because offensively, I don't buy into that, what they have right now, especially because of the quarterback position. Jacoby Brissett is a backup. Is a backup, right? Tua's out. No real chatter really going on with what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I don't think it's dead, but you got to pull the trigger. This is one of those teams that they're ready to go now. And right now, the quarterback position is holding you back. Not saying if you get him today, you automatically win the Super Bowl because obviously there's chemistry issues, whatever, but at least you're building towards the future. Right now, I don't know what the Dolphins are building towards, because is Tua their guy? Are they not going to draft a quarterback next year? Or are they not going to make a run for Deshaun Watson or any other type of quarterback on the free agents market? I don't know. And then the Colts, Quentin Nelson's out. He's on the IR. They weren't even blocking well when he was there. Carson Wentz, that experiment is over with. That this is not a good football team right now. They're not a good, and it's sad because they they were just like the Dolphins, and they could turn into the Dolphins, or the Dolphins could turn into the Colts. The Colts, for the longest, I've said they're just a quarterback away. But really, no real deep threat on the offensive side of the football. Their defense is trying to hang in there, but they can't protect the quarterback. And Carson Wentz, to me, is washed. I think he's just a backup himself. This one's close, and it should be, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of points on this game. Even if it does come, it's going to come from the Dolphin side, maybe, but this is a close game. But the Dolphins are favored at -2. All right, New York Giants heading down finally. Welcome back, New Orleans Saints. You guys are home. I believe this game is in the Superdome. So, prayers go out to them. They've been displaced for over a month and a half, close to 2 months. They finally get to return home in front of their faithful, and they should get this win. Now, Jameis Winston, to me, that offense really isn't humming all that well. I mean, I don't think he's thrown for over 200 yards yet in the season, and we're week 4. So, that tells you a lot. Don't let the record fool you. It's still early. They've got some wins. Their biggest win, obviously, was the Green Bay Packer win, which was week 1, which I think shocked a lot of people, the way they won and how much they beat them by. And obviously, the Green Bay Packer team, it looks like they've gotten over that. So a lot of Saints fans are probably feeling, oh, well, we beat the Packer. No, that doesn't count. To me, it doesn't count anymore. And people, well, why doesn't it count? It just doesn't. I can't tell you why. It just, a lot of people don't look at that win really that significantly, because the other games that you played, you haven't really blown the doors off anybody yet. They should blow the doors off the Giants. And here's the thing with the Giants, like, Saquon Barkley is not effective. They can't block for this guy. And so, look, they're another team that has a terrible offensive line, and your best player is your running back, and you can't block for him. You're screwed. They spent a lot of money picking up, wide receivers, Kenny Galladay, what's the tight end, Zach Rudolph, I believe, from Minnesota. But it's not, instead of investing in your offensive line, you didn't do so, and you're seeing the results of that. The Giants, to me, they're worst team in the NFC East, at least. They don't. Daniel, and I feel bad because I don't think Daniel Jones is that bad of a quarterback. It's just he's just not on a good team. You got an offensive coordinator and Jason Garrett who's super conservative. I mean, literally, if you want to look up conservative in dictionary, you'll see a picture of Jason Garrett. And trust me, I know, because I've had him as a head coach for my team for quite some time, and he was our play caller before. Super conservative. He's not going to try to beat you down the field. You were like, well, why wouldn't he? I mean, you got good wide receiver talent. I don't know, man, but they can't even block for Daniel Jones. He's running around there for his life as well. So Saints should win this game. It should be emotional. They're back at home. Their fans, that place should be rocking. And I think that's worth at least a touchdown there. So the Saints should win this game going away, I would say. If not, I will say this, though. The Giants, for some reason, they're just like a bad – they're like a bad habit. Sometimes you kids can't get rid of them, but the Saints should take care of this game, especially if, again, this is a game you should win. You should win this game. Talking about games you should win, Tennessee Titans, you should beat the Jets. It's really simple. The Jets, to me, are not a good football team. Again, they have a rookie quarterback who, for all his struggles, there's a learning curve. Will Zach Wilson be a bust? I don't know, man. I mean, this year's draft class was very, very, very talked about, and obviously, statistics show that all of them, like the main ones, the top 5 guys, like the Trey Lance, Zach Wilsons, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, those guys. All those guys aren't going to be superstars. One may be really good, the others might be serviceable, and couple of them might just be terrible and won't even be in the league in the next 3 or 4 years. So who knows? But the Titans, man, run Derrick Henry. The Jets defense is suffering some injuries. And again, Zach Wilson's going to throw you the ball. Titans defense isn't that great themselves, but they should be able to get some interceptions off this kid. Unless the Greg Sala comes in with a game plan and tries to help his quarterback process stuff better. Because what we saw with Trevor Lawrence, right, on Thursday night, came into the game with 9 interceptions, right? Didn't throw any picks. He just took what the defense gave him, and I think that's what you need to do. But Zach Wilson may be a different guy. He might be a different guy. So who knows? Who knows? But Titans should win this game. Derrick Henry should run all over these guys, and we'll just keep it moving from there. This one's interesting. Chiefs coming off of back-to-back losses. Andy Reid's health, I'm going to say gets dire, but I would be concerned. I was just talking to our Chiefs fans yesterday about this. I said, look, the window in the National Football League to win is very small. Now, I'm not saying it's the window's closed for the Chiefs, but if there's something critically wrong with Andy Reid, they are in trouble. Now, he had to be rushed to the hospital after last week's loss to the Chargers, I guess due to dehydration. I think there's something else going on that they're not going to divulge, which I get it, right? You don't want to create a panic across the league, or at least let other people know that you're weak at this point. But there's something going on with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, I'm not saying he sucks, but the last 2 weeks, you've seen him throw 2 critical interceptions towards the end of the game that helped result in a loss for his team. They are heavily built on throwing the football. And I think sometimes they forget to run the football, and that's how teams are able to keep pace with them. Now, I'm not saying the Eagles can keep pace with them, but the Chiefs defense isn't that good either. So this one is interesting. You go into Philadelphia, you lost 2 in a row. Philadelphia is one of those cities, those stadiums where that team gets up, they get going, the fan gets in a nice frenzy. But I don't know. I don't think Jalen Hurts is the guy in Philadelphia, but I wouldn't call this a trap game per se. But the Chiefs need to be careful. They need to be careful because you don't want to get in a close game with this team. Now, the days of them strike. Because here's the thing about the Chiefs, and this is what I was telling the Chiefs fan yesterday. I think we fell in love with their ability to just be like, all right, we're on the 20-yard line, opposite 20-yard. We're just going to score an 80-yard bomb, boom, like that. Like they are the Golden State Warriors of football. The Golden State Warriors, when they were winning their dynasty, there was the Splash Brothers. They were just shooting threes from everywhere. You look at the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is throwing no-look passes. He's just dropping dimes like 45 yards down the field. And we think that no matter what the score is, they're always in it. And rightfully so. The year they won the Super Bowl, okay, I get it. They trailed literally every playoff game, including the Super Bowl, and they still came back. And even last year in the Super Bowl, even though they were getting their brains beat out by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my mind, I'm like, they're going to come back. And they didn't even score a touchdown. So I'm not saying their window is completely closed, but there's things that are being shed on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that do concern me. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get over that. Are they talented enough, or has that ship sailed? And Patrick Mahomes is basically the only guy that they can really count on to distribute the ball, because honestly, they are not a good team without Patrick Mahomes. You take him off the team, I doubt they even make the playoffs. Simple as that. And that's not even a hot take. I think that's a fact. And if you don't agree, let me know in the comment section below, and we can probably chat about it a little bit, but I don't know. But they should win this game because I think they still have more talent. They have the better quarterback in this game. They have the better head coach in this game. And that's worth something. That should be worth something, right? So I like the Chiefs tonight. All right. One of the 2 major games in the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals heading to LA to take on the undefeated LA Rams after their exhilarating win against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the line shows it's going to be a close game, as it should. It's a divisional game. The Cardinals can score. Kyler Murray is a awesome, phenomenal quarterback. So they can put points on the board. Now, the matchup, Jalen Ramsey, DeAndre Hopkins, that's going to always be fun to watch. How will Aaron Donald affect Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray is very, very good at eluding pass rushes, looking down the field, and throwing darts down the field. So I'm going to be closely watching this game. This one's going to be exciting. It's in the afternoon block. So if you're able to watch this game, I would definitely pull it up. I think it will be close. This will say a lot about the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they've matched up pretty well against the Rams in the years. Obviously now there's a different quarterback, maybe a different offensive scheme. We were used to seeing the Rams back in the day running the football a lot, play actioning to get the passing game going. But when you have a guy like Matthew Stafford, who has a bigger, stronger arm than Jared Goff, you can see what he can do. He can throw bombs down the field. And, Deshaun Jackson looking like he's still got something left in the tank. and you put him out there, the guy, he can still run, man. He's still running like a 4.443. That's pretty fast. But we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, this is more of a statement game for the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals need to come in here and not necessarily get the win. And again, I'm not big on moral victories, but what I am saying is that if they think, because it's still a long ways to go, right? It's only week 4. We still got tons of weeks left. If you want to tell people, you want people to really buy into what you're doing, this is one of these types of games. You need to come in there and you need to set the tone. You need to tell the Rams, like, look, bro, I get it. You're 3-0. You're coming off a big win. You got a new coach. You got a new stadium. You got a lot of energy around you. But look, we are here to play. We are not little brother. We are here, and we want to make it known that we aren't going anywhere. So if they can hand toe to toe, this will say a lot. And then also it'll say a lot about the Rams too. When you come off of big wins like they did last week, the tendency is to come back and maybe be flat a little bit. Would Sean McVay be flat today? Will his team be ready to go? I think so. So definitely keep your eyes on this game. But the Rams should win this game. But I think it'll be close. All right, Seattle and the Niners on the Seattle's on the road. They're going to be playing in Santa Clara against the Niners, who coming off a tough Sunday night loss to Aaron Rodgers. Game clock management again there in that game, but they lost. Seattle coming off a bad loss to themselves. So both teams coming off of really, really bad losses. More so, the Seattle was a lot worse than the Niners because that was just a close loss. They were literally 37 seconds away from winning, but they ended up losing. Seattle just got destroyed in Minnesota. So the Niners are favorite, but I kind of like the Seahawks, and I don't know why I didn't even pick this one. I should have picked this game, but I think the Seahawks can come in here and do it, man. I think they have the better quarterback. Now, their defense isn't as good. When Bobby Wagner is your best player on defense, they don't really have that same vaunted defense they've had before. But I think Russell Wilson will get these guys going. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's playing all right, but I don't know if it's enough to carry this team. To me, these are the two bottom dweller teams of the NFC right now, right now. But Seattle, to me, with Russell Wilson now has shown that maybe they can bounce back in spots like this. But I don't know, man. I think, again, Seattle, they're another team. They're consistently in the playoffs. They're always vying. Their defense has been okay, but there's another year. They're older. Pete Carroll's another guy, who's been around them for a while. Maybe his voice isn't being heard anymore. They haven't really invested a lot on the defensive side of the ball. Jamal Adams, to me, is the most overpaid safety, or if not the most overpaid player in the National Football League. I don't think he's worth the money that you're paying him as a safety. I'm not saying he's not a bad player, but let's just be real. He's not a safety. He's a linebacker that can play safety. And I don't think he makes that much of a difference on their defense. But for whatever reason, my intuition is just to say, I'm going to go with the Niners. I'm going to go with the Seahawks today to win this game on the road. So there we have it. All right, moving on real quick. Ravens and Broncos. This game was another one for my pick, but I'm going to go with the under. The total score in this game should be under 45. Lamar Jackson, I believe, has some type of injury. He should be good to go. Denver Broncos are not going to score a lot of points. They're missing guys. Jerry Jeudy's out. Ken Hamler, another wide receiver, he's out. The Ravens are going to run the football. I think the Broncos are going to try to run the football. They're going to run the score out. This is a test for the Broncos, right? The Ravens are a formidable team. This is your first formidable opposition you've had. Lucky for the Broncos, they are at home. They are playing in Mile High. But the Ravens, I believe, are favorite. Or I forgot who was favored in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I think it was Baltimore by -1.5. So, but I think at one point, I think that line has changed to pick them. And you can go either way. Because here's the thing. For those who've never been to Mile High, that weather, that altitude can affect you. And if you're running the football the way the Ravens run, especially Lamar Jackson, he is probably like 90% of their offense. So obviously he's a quarterback, so he touches the ball every snap, but everything goes through him, right? And this defense is good. This is an elite defense that we're playing. So it's close. It's close. But if the Broncos want to prove to people that they're not pretenders, because I think they're pretenders. They haven't played anybody really. you go out and win this game. Not a moral victory. You go out and win this game. But I think in the end, Lamar Jackson will prove too much for them. And they should get the win. But I like the under. And I'll recap my clutch picks of the week for those who are joining late. So moving on. Steelers, Packers. I thought this line would be even more. Steelers just they have no offense. Chase Claypool is ruled out. So they're left with like Juju Smith-Schuster, who I like. You know, he was a former Trojan, but to me, he's just not the guy. They don't have any other guys out there, really. They can't run the ball still. Ben Roethlisberger is done. He's shot. I'm not sure, I talked about this before, why they continue to placate him and keep him happy, especially towards, I don't know what they saw on film last year that made you feel that he was going to be better this year. He's done. Packers should win this game at home. Honestly, more than a touchdown. I would say 2 touchdowns. Even though the Steelers defense they're still up there. I'll give them that. They can't score, man. And they can't get after the quarterback. So we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, Sunday night game, I'm not going to go too much into this game. But I'll break that down later on tonight on my other show, NFL Primetime, before this game. So I won't touch too much on this. But like I said before at the top of the show, this is going to be must-see TV. Tom Brady heading back to New England. A lot of emotion. A lot of people didn't like the way Tom Brady left, right? How he did it. A lot of people felt he should have just stayed in New England, but he decided he wanted to go out on his own and do something else and win and show that he is the GOAT. We don't need to break down this game a lot. We know what it is, but anyway. All right, and then Monday night game, I want to talk about that. Chargers, Raiders. I'll break that down tomorrow as well on my other show, Clutch Sports Talk Live. So we won't spend too much time on that. But before I get out of here, I want to give you guys my clutch picks of the week. I kind of been doing that throughout the show today, but I got the Lions in a recap, money line to win straight up. I got the Falcons. Hopefully they don't screw me over. Money line to win straight up. They are the underdogs. Both teams are the underdogs in both of these games. And then I like the Texans to cover at plus 17. They are playing. Who are the Texans are playing? Who the Texans playing? God. Oh, the Bills, right? They're playing the Bills. I don't think they'll get blown up by 2 touchdowns. And then I like the under in the Baltimore and Denver Broncos game at 45. I don't think both defenses are solid, right? They're solid. And they're playing in Denver. I don't think teams are going to this. I'd be surprised if this game is a shootout. I just don't see it. And if there's going to be any scoring coming, it's going to be coming from Baltimore Ravens side, at least. Not the Denver Broncos size with Teddy Bridgewater. So we'll have to wait and see. And, last week I did good. I should have went 4-0, but the damn kicker for the LA Chargers missed the extra point in the final score, and I would have covered. But, 3-1 is good, especially bouncing back from a 1-3 week. So I'm 7-4, looking to improve today. So I'm keeping track of this because I think I should have metrics to track myself. So that's it. Well, that's my time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll be back later on around, let's see, I can't say a time, but at least after the last afternoon game, getting you guys ready for the Sunday night game. So that'll be fun. Make sure you guys pull up to that show tonight. It should be on and popping. We're going to recap everything, see how the Bears did, see how my picks did so far, and get you guys ready for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick matching off in Foxborough. So, yeah, I'm going to go and get something to eat, and I'm going to sit back and relax, enjoy week 4 today, and I'll see you guys later on tonight. So I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday afternoon and morning. This is Clutch Sports Talk Live, NFL Sunday morning with me, Ryan Flowers. Like I always say, never settle till the work is done. Let's go.